And then, fellas, last but not least, the great Brian McKnight. BRF, you go first.
Favorite Brian McKnight track. I got a few. Like, definitely one of the more, if he's not the most underrated R&B male R&B singer of our generation, he's definitely one of them. Um, as far as like the big hits, everybody's gonna go to Back at One, because that was like the big mainstream hit that he had, which was a really really good song. My favorite Brian McKnight song is probably Anytime.
Yes.
It's Anytime, because that was just like, you could just like, you could hear the pain in his voice singing that song. Want this woman to come back to him. He feels like, yeah, okay, I might not have been good as I could have been, but just come back. I'll show you what I can do. And just that song was just like, if I'm ever just you could just hear it. You like just it was just a well put together song, and I love it. That, like, Brian McKnight's got a few songs, honestly, that still travels and still does well. He's a like I said, if he's not the most underrated male R&B singer of our generation, he's up there. He's like easily up there as far as most underrated. And like, you don't, like, now you look back at a lot of his songs and you listen to his songs like another one, the only one for me. That was another good one. That was another good one as well. So yeah, man, yeah, Brian McKnight is definitely one of my favorites, and he's definitely very very underrated. But yeah, yeah, for me it's Anytime. Just that's just if you got like one favorite like that for me with Brian McKnight, that for me is definitely it's my favorite song. I love the beat. I love the pacing of the song. Just his voice, like, come on, man. I ain't gonna lie, like I said, probably definitely and also one of the best voices of our generation as well. You can't, man, you can't. Brian McKnight's just one of those. He's just one of those talents that's like, now we sit back and we look at a lot of his music and we's like, yeah, we didn't really like. It was like we didn't really appreciate him at first, but it's like as the music kept coming and you just saw the talent, it's like, yeah, yeah, Brian McKnight, one of those ones. So yeah, yeah. For me though, it's Anytime.
Anytime for me, but another track though, Still in Love.
Yes.
Mm.
Especially when he goes, when the eagles forget how to fly. That song, but back at one. So I mean, with Brian McKnight, man, his singing. My one of my other favorite Brian McKnight moments. Remember the Martin episode when Martin flew all the way to New York to propose to Gina, and then when Brian McKnight singing
Yeah,
that that would, I mean, go back and watch that Martin episode. I don't remember the name of it, but it was in season 2. Go watch that episode and listen to Brian McKnight singing. That was some good ones. Oh, and also there was one on the Steve Harvey show. Go check that one out as well. But Still in Love, back at one, because the sound, the beats, how sweet the song is, especially with that angelic voice.
Mhm.
Got to give Brian McKnight his due, man. Champ.
Oh man, one last cry.
Oh, nice.
One last cry. A funny story about that song. I joined this little group that we had, and we was trying to cut carbs. So we had this thing called One Last Fry. we and we based it off that song. So we said One Last Fry. That was oh man. We gonna call this the Dark Kirby show. I don't know what. Jesus. Hey, that's horrible. Man. Uh,
What
oh
did I
man.
say?
Hey, look, there's a reason why they call us the
Why
highlight of Friday nights.
That's
Copyrighted.
why did I let that man? Why
yeah.
did I let Why did I let Dark Kirby come out my mouth, boy? That's what this episode gonna be now. Forever enshrined the Dark Kirby show.
Kirby. Yeah, yeah. Venom took over Kirby. Now we got the Dark Kirby show. But
The
I
Black and
would
Dark
have to
Vader.
say,
The Black and Dark Vader.
uh, oh man, I love the PSP, man. That's why you my brother. But hey, in all seriousness, man, one last cry. We all had that one breakup, and let's just be real. We all had that one breakup, and yeah, when you put on that song, you can hear it. It's just like one last cry in here, and not only that, losing family members or losing friends, one last cry pretty much hits home. And I gotta say, one last cry. Back at one is always a good one, but one last cry was always, one that, especially when you are, kind of going through it with a loved one, you going through it with in a relationship or something like that, and you just so happen to lose. And yeah, that's a song that kind of hits home. So one last cry has to be it for me because, and let's not forget, man, although it wasn't great, the track that he did with the late great Kobe Bryant, he did do a track with the late great Kobe Bryant. That was cool. For you to do a song with Brian McKnight back then is something special. So I gotta say one last cry. So that was great. And that's still one of my favorite Brian McKnight songs to this day. Back at one, all of those are good as well. So but for me, it's one last cry.
Excellent choice, fellas. And for next week on the Sports PSP Pod for music, favorite Mary J. Blige track.
I like that.
Yep.
I love that one.
Well, that's why Champ calls me the New Jersey genius, the mastermind.